Hey guys, hope you're all having a great week so far. So today I have a little review for you guys on the new L'Oreal Magic Nude Liquid Powder Foundation. And I've been using this for about, I want to say maybe 2.5 to 3 weeks, and I have really grown to love it. At the beginning I was a little iffy about it, but just the more I use it and the more I get used to it, it's just been phenomenal. So I really do think that this is like the summer foundation, go-to summer foundation for most skin types. So let's go ahead and just get started from the top. And as far as packaging goes, I really do like this packaging. I feel like L'Oreal and Revlon always have like amazing packaging. They worry a lot about the aesthetic of the product, and I always think that their presentation is great. It comes in this little, let's see, it's a 0.91 fluid ounce bottle. It's a little glass bottle, and it kind of has like an ombre effect from white to clear. The little purple cap, which purple is my favorite color. So there is 12 different shades of the foundation, and I do think that that's a pretty good variety, being that you know, they do have a couple like cool toned shades and more yellow tone and like for olive skin. So I did really like that. I actually got mine in 328 Sun Beige. I have heard a few people say that on their skin it oxidizes, but as far as me, I don't know if it's just my chemistry. I haven't noticed that it oxidizes, so I guess you just kind of have to go through a whole trial and error thing with this. Price wise, it does kind of range. I believe I got mine at Walmart for around $11.99 maybe, but at some places you might find it, you know, $12.95, $13.95. I think the most expensive place that I saw it was either like at CVS or something, and I want to say that it was like $13.95 or maybe even $14.95. So definitely, depending on where you go, is, you know, how the price is going to change. Again, I got mine at Walmart for around $11.95. So basically, L'Oreal claims this to be a very lightweight, bare skin perfecting makeup that is magic. Basically meaning that it turns from liquid to powder like that, instantly on contact. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's instantly on contact, but it is very fast. You can actually feel it kind of transforming before your eyes. No, but really you can actually feel the change of the texture as you're putting it on. This is extremely liquidy when you first like put it on, or put it on your hand. It is very liquidy. It can tend to be messy. It is more of a light to medium coverage. So if you're looking for something more full coverage, I don't necessarily think that this would be right for you. If you do have hyperpigmentation or any scarring that you want to cover, then I would think that you need to use a concealer aside from this, because this is basically just going to be something that's going to leave your skin just, you know, kind of even it out and make it look like you don't have any makeup on, or very minimal makeup on. You can definitely build it up, but even when you do, I don't think that you get like a full coverage effect. You definitely get like a lighter medium effect. I would definitely say that this is very lightweight, and that's what I like about it so much, especially in the summer when you're, you know, hot. You don't want to feel like you have a lot of makeup on your skin, and I do think that this is definitely lightweight. I can put on maybe, you know, up to 3 layers. You know, usually I just do like 2 layers to really even out everything, but even on the days that I want a little bit more coverage, you know, I put on an extra little layer and I don't feel like I'm clogging up my pores. I don't feel like I'm wearing makeup. So I definitely do like the fact that it feels like my skin. This does have an SPF of 18, which I can really appreciate because I'm all about the SPF during the summertime. I would definitely recommend this for more drier and combination skin types. I'm not sure about oily skin types. It would all depend on how comfortable you are, you know, with the oiliness that goes on during the day, but I'm a combination skin type, and later in the video I will show you how it wears on me throughout the day. But with that being said, I do you know, see that it gets oily in my T-zone on the later half of the day. So that's why I'm just saying it really depends, you know, for oily skin types, how comfortable you are and, you know, how often you're okay with kind of retouching. But basically the finish of this is supposed to be kind of like a demi matte finish since, you know, it dries to a powder. So as far as for me, I do feel like I was covered throughout the day for a majority of the day, and I didn't feel the need to kind of, you know, powder my face. I was pretty comfortable with the amount of oil that was released throughout the day. So L'Oreal recommends that the best application for this is to use your fingers. So that might be a con for, you know, all you people that don't like using your fingers and don't really like getting messy, because this is very messy, or can be very messy. It's very, very liquidy. You shake it really, really well and you can actually hear the liquid in there, but you just take a couple drops on your fingers and then just rub it in, and you can actually feel it turning into like a powder, but yeah, it just takes a little bit. Like once you start rubbing it in and you kind of move it around, you'll actually feel the texture changing into kind of like a smooth powdery type texture. So it's actually really, really cool. But again, that might be a con for people that don't like, you know, getting messy and don't like using their fingers because they don't think that it's sanitary. Also, I wouldn't recommend this for an on-the-go type of foundation, just because, you know, again, you're going to be using your fingers and it's really liquidy, can tend to be messy. So, you know, if you're on the go and you don't have wipies or something to clean yourself with, then this is just going to be a disaster for you. So overall, I really have been enjoying this foundation. I absolutely love it. I feel like for me, it's a perfect fit, especially in the summer. After using it now for, you know, several weeks, I really do think that I have the application down. So it's really fast and like so simple. You can't, or I feel like you can't go wrong with it because it's so lightweight that you just can't make it look like you have too much on. So that's what I like about it so much. It evens out my complexion really nicely. Again, I don't really have a whole lot of like scarring and things that I need to conceal. So if you are the type that has, you know, a little bit more hyperpigmentation, you know, scarring and stuff like that, just use a little bit of concealer, and then I do feel like you can still use this and it'll just kind of even out your skin tone. My favorite part about this is that it doesn't look like I have a lot of makeup on, and it doesn't feel like I have a lot of makeup on. So it's basically my skin, only way better, thanks to this little magic bottle. But I really have been enjoying it. I think I kind of covered a lot. I am going to be doing a demo and also how it wears on me throughout the day. I'll kind of talk a little bit more in those parts as well, but hopefully I answered all your guys' questions. If not, if you have any other questions, make sure that you write them in the comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Alright, so the directions say to shake well, and then it says for best application, use your fingers. And I know that's not very sanitary, but I washed my fingers really well, and I can't open this for some reason. Alright, so what I do is I just take a little bit at a time and just kind of dot it and work it in. And it's a really, really light coverage, but you can definitely build it up. And I just feel like it's so simple. At the beginning I was like, oh my gosh, this is so like liquidy, this is not gonna go well at all. But actually, like, I feel like this is so much faster than applying a lot of other stuff, because it's so light and it just like blends in really nice. And the texture of this is so soft. When you put it on, it feels really liquidy, but as you work it in, you can kind of really feel like how it turns into powder. So this is one layer. Now it kind of, you know, just evened out my skin. If you want to go ahead and apply more, I'm going to put a little more just for the sake of it. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with this coverage. Like I said, you're not going to get full on, like full coverage. So if that's what you're looking for, this probably isn't the foundation for you. If you have a lot of like hyperpigmentation or spots that you want to conceal, I would definitely use a concealer and then maybe apply this. But for like a light, everyday, just even out your skin tone type of thing. But you know, overall, I like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm going to take you on a little test drive of this new L'Oreal Magic Liquid to Powder Foundation. As you can see, I have a fresh face right now, so I barely put it on, and I'm just going to kind of check in with you throughout the day and show you how the product is holding up. So I haven't put anything under the foundation, no primer. All I have on is my moisturizer with SPF, and then I just went about my normal makeup routine. So I'll see how everything holds up, and I'm not going to be touching up throughout the day either, so I can really see, you know, how well this works with combination skin. So I'll check in with you in a little bit. Alright guys, so it's about 12 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and I came home from a little lunch break, so I wanted to update you on how this is holding up. So it's about 90 degrees outside, and I haven't really been outside per se, just to get into my car and stuff, so the heat really hasn't affected my foundation, I don't think. But as you can see, it's still pretty nicely put together. I don't really see any or too much like oil in my T-zone area, which is normally where I get oily. I can see a little bit of a shine coming through, but nothing drastic. I wouldn't even like blot this or anything at this point right now. So I feel like it's holding up pretty well. And yeah, so I guess we'll check back a little bit later and see how it's doing then. Alright guys, so it's 7 o'clock in the evening right now, and I probably will do one more check-in. I'm not sure, probably right before I go to bed. But I did want to let you know how the foundation is holding up. I can definitely see that it's worn off a little bit throughout the day, especially in the areas that I tend to touch my face more. So around this like lower part of my face, I usually like, I don't know, do weird things throughout the day, so I can feel like the foundation's kind of not completely rubbed off, but it's definitely not as like smooth. So I definitely feel my skin more, and I feel like there's a little more of my actual skin poking through. But overall, I think that you know, the minimal coverage that it has, it's still there, so it's still evening out everything. My like blush and bronzer is still staying on pretty well. As far as oil control, I definitely can tell that my T-zone has gotten oily, especially my nose, which is my biggest problem area for oil. My nose is probably like where I get the oiliest. Is that a word? Oiliest? Yeah. But so my nose tends to get really oily, and yeah, you could definitely see that, but I don't think it's anything that a little blotting sheet couldn't take care of. So yeah, I'll go ahead and check in right before bed, and we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so it's the end of the night. It's like, I don't know, almost 11 o'clock and I'm really tired, so I want to just get this makeup off and go to sleep. But I wanted to just check out with you guys, and as you can see, I'm pretty oily in the T-zone area, which is normal for me. I don't get overly oily, so that might be something that you guys that are a little more oily skin might want to consider. As of right now, I do feel like pretty much this whole part of my face has completely disappeared as far as the foundation goes, but I've just been like laying down and stuff, so I feel like I pretty much don't have a whole lot of coverage going on in this area, but in this area everything stayed pretty okay, and yeah, I just have some oiliness around the nose and the forehead area, so that's it. I'm gonna go wash this off and go to bed. So I hope you all enjoyed this review and that it was helpful to you in some way. Again, if you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you guys on my next video. Mwah.